Hello everyone! This video is going to speak about the role of microorganisms in coral health, diseases, and evolution. Coral reefs are the largest living structure that contains an enormous diversity of microorganisms. Hard coral have two layers of cells, epidermis and gastrodermis, covered by a mucous layer and connected to a large porous calcium carbonate skeleton which interacts to diverse forms of microbial life like microscopic algae called symbiodinium, which provide a large part of energy required to the corals by transport photosynthetically fixed carbonate. Another function is to produce a large amount of molecular oxygen through algal photosynthesis, which allows an efficient respiration of corals and protection against infections. Bacteria are present in mucus layer with an abundant beneficial bacterial community like nitrogen fixer, chitin decomposer, and indent skeleton with bacteria which satisfy 50% of the nitrogen needs and provide organic compounds to the coral tissues, crucial for the coral survival when there is a coral bleaching. Archaea are important to create a diversity and abundance of hard corals, however, they do not have specific bonds to the corals but to the water. However, in conditions of environmental stress, some viruses and coral pathogens can cause coral bleaching and other diseases. Numerous viruses are in coral mucus and tissues, and in situations of heat-shocked corals were present virus-like particles. In the past 30 years, there is an approximately 30% of decline in coral population, most due to emerging disease caused by coral pathogens. The most serious disease is coral bleaching, where the interaction with algae is disturbed, causing a loss of photosynthetic pigment of corals. Most of coral infections occurs in high temperature, and the most common disease is caused by the Vibacilli, a bacteria present only in diseased corals. Not only coral pathogens, but also environmental stress like climate change, water pollution, and overfishing also increase the incidence of coral diseases. Increase of temperature by climate change affects the mechanisms of bacterial bleaching, for example by the Vibacilli that inhibits the photosynthesis of algae and superoxide dismutase. Water pollution increases the growth of microorganisms in mucus, which result to a disruption of the balance between corals and its microbiota. When the concentration of algae in coral reefs increase due to overfishing, the coral are negatively affected by pathogens, the abrasion, and the shedding. There can also be a higher mortality in corals caused by the enchanting microbial activity through the release of dissolved compounds. Fortunately, corals have the capability to develop resistance to specific pathogens and adapt to environmental changes, even though they have a lack in adaptive immunity system. Corals can adapt to environmental stress. This is due to the dynamic relationship between corals and symbiotic organisms, which select and adapt the symbiont population so that the host can adapt faster to the environment. It was also confirmed that corals exposed to solar radiation for 2-3 months with high temperature were more resistant to bleaching. Therefore, the abundance and diversity of microorganisms are associated to healthy and diseases corals because they have an important role in nutrition and diseases resistance of healthy corals. In the coral exposed to environmental stress, the microbial population undergoes a change to adapt to the new conditions or diseases. In conclusion, to suggest a new theory of the role of microorganisms in evolution and adaptation to the environment of corals. This research will help take better decisions in the right step to conserve coral reefs for the future.